Application forms are normally our first real opportunity to show our interest in a role. But they might not always feel like an opportunity, especially if we're being asked to squeeze ourselves into tight word counts and potentially repeat ourselves from our CVs. There are definite ways of making application forms work for us, and in this video, I'm going to be focusing on two such highly effective techniques that have helped hundreds of people I've worked with land interviews for their dream jobs. I want those same techniques to help you. So let's roll the intro and get right into it. The first part of writing amazing applications is the Leonardo da Vinci principle. Now let me explain. In 1482, Leonardo da Vinci was a 30-year-old in Florence, with over a decade's work experience in artists' studios on the fringes of success. And around that time, details of his private life became public, and he left Florence for a new start in Milan. He needed work, so he wrote to the Duke of Milan. In this, his actual application, he listed 11 skills he thought would be most helpful to the Duke. And since the Duke loved going to war, the first 10 skills on Leonardo's application relate to, yeah, you guessed it, war. How well he could design castles, moats, cannons, bridges, that kind of thing. But only in his 11th and last point does Leonardo mention his artistic ability. What point am I making? Give recruiters what they want. When writing applications, it can be overwhelmingly tempting to think about what you want to say about yourself. But it's so much simpler and more effective to work backwards from the job description, because that represents what the organisation wants to hear about most. This job description is the GSK's Regulatory Affairs graduate scheme, and immediately we can tell which things matter most to GSK. How? Because the hiring manager would have written up a list of required skills to send to HR so they can put the job adverts out. Therefore, the skills that are most important and obvious to the hiring manager are going to be towards the top of that job description skills list. And so for this role, that would be relationship building. Why does this matter? Well, because it helps us prioritize exactly what to mention in our applications. Let's take a look at an example answer that doesn't do this super well when replying to an application question. What skills make you a good fit for the role? For that same GSK job description. The first skill the writer mentions comes in the third sentence. And it's not relationship building, which is the top listed skill in the job description, so it's a real missed opportunity. The only other skills mentioned are towards the bottom and not in the same order as the job description. An imagined mark scheme with higher scores for skills higher up in the job description would score this answer quite low, despite the candidate feeling like an intuitively good fit based on their experience with societies and their exposure to the pharmaceutical sector. The first words of this answer, however, are the top words from GSK's job description, and this is great. This puts exactly what the recruiter is looking for, exactly where the recruiter is looking for it, at the top. This answer is succinct, direct, and the way it's written means it's detailed enough to be convincing. The fact that the restaurant example doesn't relate to the pharmaceutical sector really doesn't matter, and taking a look at the notional mark scheme confirms the strength of this approach. And that's just based on the one skill alone, though I definitely recommend mentioning more skills in subsequent paragraphs in any application answer. The Leonardo da Vinci principle is about putting the needs of the recruiter first. Now do this well, and you're doing something around 90% of applicants don't do. The second principle is how to show skills without showing off. Walking that tightrope of showing your quality without coming across as salesy or fake. In this example, we feel convinced by this person's relationship building skill because they mention sub-attributes or features of relationship building. There's rapport building, which is one sub-attribute. There's asking open questions, another sub-attribute of relationship building. And it's sub-attributes that sell a skill, making it really easy to see how this applicant would take their relationship building skills from one sector into another. So how do you know which sub-attributes make up which skills on job descriptions? Easy. The Harvard Competency Dictionary, linked in the description box below, is a great free resource for this, detailing specific sub-attributes helping give structure to your application answers. I'd never write an application without it. Also, being direct in your writing style and only giving evidence for the things that the recruiters are asking for in the job descriptions are exactly how you fit into tight word counts. So between the Leonardo da Vinci principle and using sub-attributes to sell your skills, you're well on your way to writing amazing applications. Please know that UCL Careers holds thousands of applications appointments every year, and we can review your application answers professionally. I've included a link in the description box below, and please also know that I have a Q&A episode coming out in a few weeks' time. I'd love to feature questions that mean most to you. So if you'd like me to answer your careers question, email me at careers.marketing@ucl.ac.uk. That's it from me for this week. I'll see you next time.